right, the day and time has come. I'm tearing it down. So here we go. We get a good look. First step, I'm going to be taking off the J boot. I'm going to be taking off the intake. But first, the fuel rail. Probably just peel that back over, take the intake off. Cam tower, then comes the head. Here we go. Here's the progress so far. I've got the J boot off with the air measurement controller thing. Fuel rail is off. Plug wires are off. I got the fuel rail peeled over here to the side. And a little trick that I learned from a German YouTube video a long time ago. Plug the ports, the holes up with aluminum foil. Really easy way to plug those and make sure you're not leaking fuel. And as you can see, here's the parts that we've got taken off. And I just wanted to show something. I've heard that every single time that you take your fuel injectors out, you want to make sure you replace these O-rings, and I'll show you exactly why. Last time I put the injectors back in here, I replaced these O-rings, and look at this. Already compromised, smashed, no good. And I don't know if that is from maybe they just didn't seat properly when I put them in, or if it was from wear and tear or just sitting too long. But 2 of the 4, the O-ring, completely destroyed. So that's pretty important. Make sure that you replace the O-rings every time you take these injectors out, or take a good look at them at the very least. So I'm thinking about, since I've pretty much decided to go all out on this thing, I might have these fuel injectors just sent out to be rebuilt, just to make sure that they're all spraying properly. These 3 seem like they had a couple dribbles of fuel. This one seemed to be dry as a bone, so I don't know if it has went bad, or maybe it wasn't seated properly. The O-ring seems to be in decent shape. It's a little bit off, but it should have still been sealing, it looks like, but it seemed to be dry as a bone, so I don't know what's going on with that. So at the very least, I'm going to send these guys off, get them rebuilt, and get them flow tested. So let's wait for the next step. Time for a progress report. So intake manifold is off, and if we examine on the head here, it actually looks like it was sealed very well, so that's reassuring. We can see the intake valves inside of there, and see if I can focus in on that. Yeah, so our intake valves, they look kind of dirty. Look at that guy. But there they are. So I'm gonna keep working at this, probably go ahead and jerk this cam tower off. Gonna have to get this water hose off, and we will pull the head today, hopefully. Let's also actually take a look at this manifold here, this intake. Hey, look. We can see the gaskets. And they appear to be in pretty good shape. A little moisture there. Can't really see inside there, but everything looks pretty good. Looks like there was a little bit of rust on the inside there, but probably just from sitting for so long. Throttle body, got a little bit of junk in there, but honestly, the seal, the O-ring was in good shape, and everything still looks pretty clean. So I previously resealed all of the O-rings, completely went through the throttle body, replaced all the seals and everything, so it should still be in pretty good shape. But onward we go. Date 2.5 beers later, we are down to the head, so we can see our valves. The bottom of the cam tower, I don't think that gasket was holding. It is leaky. Oh yeah, especially right here. That gasket blew out. Everywhere where it's above the bolt hole, I think it was fine, but there's a couple places where, I don't know, maybe I just didn't get it torqued down quite right. Especially these over here. There was a lot of oil coming down from here. And this is where the original leak was that caused me to take the cam tower off, that caused me to put the cam tower back on incorrectly and break everything, bend the valves. So that cam tower can go somewhere. So, anywho, here's the valves. Let me get a side profile here. You can see on this first cylinder here, that valve is definitely sitting a lot lower than the others. And this guy, the next one over also, definitely sitting lower than the others. So, I got all new valves, 4 intake, 4 exhaust. I'm gonna have the machine shop put those in. So let's look over here at the cam tower. And inside here, you can see, look at this. This is the corner. This is the front corner. It was leaking. Guarantee it was leaking. See, these look cleaner around the bolt hole. You can tell. These guys over here, all around that bolt hole, oil. That was not a good seal. My lifters, I don't really know how to tell whether or not they look good or not. I guess they're okay. The cam has a little wear in a couple places I can see. Like this one specifically, you can kind of see right here on the corner. It's got a little wear on it. That's probably not good. Do I need to replace the cam? I don't know how much they cost. Anybody has any recommendations, let me know. I conclude for the day. So, I almost got to the point of having the head being able to pull off. Everything that was attached, everything like that, I got off. Got down to the exhaust manifold. This bolt right here, had to get a vice grip to get that guy starting to loosen up, and it eventually got to the point where it just got stuck and started pulling the whole bolt, the whole thing out, the stud. So hopefully that came out stud and all enough for me to be able to pull that off. Notice that this one, only a bolt on one side. I'm guessing it's probably broke off into the head. So that's one more thing I'm gonna have to get the machine shop to do. I've also noticed on every single one of these, one side has an actual nut and one side has an actual metric hex head bolt. Is it supposed to be like that, or has somebody been monkeying around? I already know somebody's been monkeying around because we've got one broken stud. Are they supposed to be the same? I don't know. But I was able to get this one loose, like I said, with the vice grip. This one, could not get it loose. And I don't have enough clearance between the actual exhaust manifold and the nut to get my vice grips on there. So I'm gonna have to try and find some thinner ones. And that's gonna leave me into taking another day before I can get this head off. Hopefully. That's hoping that I can get the other bolts out. So we shall see. So stay tuned for part 2. And as always, like, subscribe, and share.